What's going on, folks? So today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the new Junkyard Drive album called Electric Love. And y'all know, before I get into that nitty gritty, let's check out that cover. So boom, there it is. Check it out. I really dig this cover. It just looks really cool. It's popping. It really kind of catches the eye there. It makes you want to take a closer look. But with all the colors, the blue, the electricity, and all that, you see a heart there, and it's just really, really cool. It's like an amp. And the wires all tangled up with the heart, almost like it's powering this heart that's got wings. Why not? Just for good measure. And it just looks really neat. Electricity sparking everywhere, and you see the name of the album there, Electric Love, and it just looks really cool. And the Junkyard Drive up there at the top, it's pretty clean looking. And it's pretty to the point. So I like it from an aesthetic perspective. And then how I'm really big on the cover conveying to the listener what the album's going to be like, and this hits the mark. I mean, without a doubt. And this is some straight up hard rock, melodic hard rock, and if this cover doesn't say the hard rock, I don't know what would. So yeah, I mean, it gets an A+ on both fronts from me. I dig the cover. It's kind of old school, classic kind of vibe, just the way it's designed and set up, and then the way it conveys what you will get on the album. Top notch. So I dig it. But anywho, you're not here to just talk about the cover. So this bad boy's got 10 songs, comes in around 40 minutes. Really, really great length for this style of music, in my opinion. You get a good amount of music, but it never overstays its welcome or anything like that. And 10 songs, a nice solid amount. But, really what you're going to be getting here, right from the rip. I mean, you're going to know as soon as you press play and track number 1, Let It Burn, starts. You're going to know that, again, this is some real melodic hard rock, and the guitar just comes in hot, and the guitar riffs on this album, I will say, are just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. They're really like the heart of the album, in my opinion. I mean, these guitar riffs and melodies and whatnot here are just full of such personality. Every song has its own unique sounding guitar riffs and whatnot, and it gives every song its own personality, really sets it all apart. And this is before you're even bringing in vocals or a vocal melody or anything like that. The guitars do just an amazing job, just with the melodies and setting the stage, and creating the persona, the identity of the songs. You could almost just listen to this whole album, I would say, without vocals or vocal melody at all, and you'd be just fine. I mean, you'd be missing out big time. I'll talk about the vocals here shortly, but I feel like it would still stand alone on its own, just with the guitar and the bass and the drums alone, because, like I said, the guitar is doing some awesome, I mean, the guitar work here is just fantastic, and with the riffs and melodies, but, the bass is doing a lot of work on here as well. There are certain moments on certain songs where you can really hear that bass coming through, really, doing its own thing back there, really setting the foundation really for the song. And the drum work is excellent. It's loud and heavy, but the production is really great. You can hear everything nice and distinct. Nothing ever gets muddled. So it's just really fantastic on that front. And then you toss in the vocals, and it's just the icing on the cake here, folks. This dude, his voice is so versatile. So he's got so much power to it, but so much control and a great range. And he's really able to command the moment, when he's singing. Because again, the guitar, it's just, I mean, it's just so ever present, and it's got such strength on its own, like I said, with the guitar melodies and whatnot, but then the vocals come in and they're just as strong and really able to play that almost instead of like dueling vocalists. I feel like this is kind of dueling guitar and vocals. It's really neat the way it's working. You got the two powerhouses kind of constantly working, bouncing off one another, and it just really creates this energy. There's a lot of energy here, and it comes through the music. So it's just really dynamic. I would go so far as to say this is one of easily in my top 3 favorite hard rock albums of the year so far. I'd have to look back to see what other that I would really consider like a melodic hard rock album, but this is up there. I really enjoyed this. It really kind of took me by surprise, how consistent and how much quality there is to find in here. And again, it's just there's a lot of elements working here. At its most, at its root, or I guess at its core, what you have here is a melodic hard rock album with a lot of energy, and again, some great guitar licks and riffs and fantastic vocal melodies. I didn't even really mention the vocal melodies, but on top of that, you have great vocal melodies, great choruses that are catchy, and again, a lot of energy. So at its core, it's like a melodic hard rock, but then there's moments where you get, I definitely get a southern rock kind of vibes in a lot of spots. You get some groove, almost blues rock type of vibes in spots. And then you almost even get like a southern gospel vibes. I kind of forget what song it was now. I think it was Let Me Love You, where there's spots where there's not any music going on. It's just the vocals, and it's kind of a cappella, and it's kind of chanting, and there's a little bluesiness to it, and just moments I kind of get like a southern gospel almost kind of vibe to it. And it's so funny because I actually had to look up. This is the first time I've ever heard of this band before, was this album. And I got so much like southern rock, like in the United States, like Texas or Alabama or, something like that, Georgia, kind of just some southern rock vibes that I had to look them up and see where they're from, see if they're, in my neck of the woods out here in the U.S. But no, they're from Denmark. And I was just like, wow. And I was like, they just really, really kind of, that took me by surprise there. I mean, just the way that they craft that sound, and it sounds so authentic, and they're just really feeling it, you can tell. So you get a really great variety of styles within that kind of hard rock, melodic hard rock genre, it's infectious. It really is infectious. If you're a fan of rock or melodic rock or hard rock, melodic hard rock, blues rock, kind of southern rock, anything within that kind of a hard rock genre, don't miss this. If you haven't heard of these folks here before, Junkyard Drive, I can't speak for the previous albums or anything like that, but this album here, Electric Love, it's going to be right down your alley. I'm not kidding here. It all, again, some songs have more of like a bluesy style. Some songs, have different styles and whatnot. But then you get down there towards the end, like track 8, The Wonderland of Temptations, you get a little bit more of a slower, because for the most part, there's a lot of high energy stuff, but that one, you get a little bit more of a slower, emotion fueled kind of thing. And with Mama is kind of like a mix, but then it all ends really strong on Free Your Mind, and just kind of leaves you wanting more. It just ends on a really good note, and that's always important. You really want the last song to, that's what's going to give you the lasting impression, really, and determine if you want to go back in. Even if you enjoyed like 80% of an album, I feel like if the last song is a dud. It kind of, leaves you with a sour mouth. It just leaves you with a sour taste in your mouth, so to speak. And you may not want to jump right back in. It can be deflating. But this one here, it ends solid. It ends strong. So you want to go back in for another round. And I listened to this bad boy a few times, and I still enjoyed it by the third time through. And that's not going to be my last time I listen to this album, because if I'm itching for some hard rock, melodic hard rock, this is an album I'm definitely going to be going back to. And you know how I like to give you all my thoughts on, if you're going to give this album one shot, one chance, and listen to one song, and let that one song be the deciding factor on if you're going to listen to the whole album or not. This one, there's a few. For you to choose from. I honestly would either go with track one, Let It Burn. Track two, Electric Love, would be a really solid one to try, or even track four, Home. I think all three of those really embody the sound of the album in one song. So it's really your choice. Just for the sake of it, if I had to tell you just one, maybe just go with the title track, track number two, Electric Love. And again, that'll give you an idea on if it's a sound that you'll be into or not. But yeah, that's really what I got for you on this one. I mean, there's a lot of love put into this, and there's a lot to enjoy and love about this Electric Love. So that's my thoughts there. Let me know in the comments down below if you've listened to this album already, and what you think of it. Or let me know if you're intrigued based on my thoughts and based on what I've kind of told you about it, and if you're going to check it out. Yeah, I'd be excited to hear from anyone who's listened to this, and what you think of it, and let me know if their past material is something I should check out as well, if it's in the same quality range as this album here, because I'd be more than willing to go back and check it out. So let's talk about it, and that's what I got for you. That's Junkyard Drive with their new album, Electric Love, and I'll catch y'all next time. Ranger, out.